hello, dearest.
Hola, mi amigos. Buenas noches. Soy Thingamajig. Mucho gusto. ¿Cómo estás? And welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. Here we are for round 3 of the Cup. Cup is going very strongly. Let me open up Discord, and I will tell you what has gone in the Cup of late. In the chat, let's quickly check. People saying can't come. Someone's arrived, and as like I said, the game just crashed. It seems all right now, but that was probably a while ago. So here we are for round 3 of the Cup, and we are at Monza, the Temple of Speed. All hail the tarmac of the track. Tarmac on the track. In the chat, we've got Skyjacker say, "Oh, hello, dearest." Why, hello, my sweet. Pat saying, "Hiya," and Bazza saying, "Good evening, sir." Hi, how did you like my Spanish? It's coming on. I bet you tricked you. I bet you thought there was a Spanish person. I bet you thought I was Enrique Iglesias. Don't you know I'll be your hero, baby? I'll be your middleman. I could be your hero, baby. And I'll take you where I can. So, what am I saying then? We're here. It's the Cup. Right, it's a 15-minute qualifying. We'll start at 8 o'clock, and the race start tyre must be used in qualifying. So they'll start qualifying with the tyre they want to start the race on. If they're going to carry on in qualifying with that tyre, that is totally up to them. But we saw a few people starting with the medium tyres and popping in for a set of softs. But we'll see. Then we go on to an endurance race, a 60-minute race. And it's a free choice of tyres between racing mediums, intermediates and wets. The option tyre is the racing soft, and this may only be used once per the race. And they have a mandatory tyre which must be used during the race. So the soft tyre, they don't have to use it, but if they do use it, they can only use it the once. Them clouds look grey and dark. I don't know what are wet tracks and what aren't in GT, so I will always start it off by saying we might have rain, but I don't know. It's always on random weather, I think. It starts cloudy and then it's random after that, so it'll start cloudy and go on from there. And that's all the information you need to know. The track is 3.6 miles long. It has 11 turns, and the estimated pit time, or the pit time, I'm saying estimated, he hasn't, he said pit time, is 21 seconds. 21 seconds lost in the pits. You want to know what the table is, isn't it, after 2 rounds? Of course you do. Well, as Matt Psycho won both of the first 2 races, it is as you expect. He is at the top of the championship with 42 points. Well done, Mr. Psycho. Homesick Alien is in second on 31 points, 9 points adrift already after 2 rounds. That's a mega start to the season for Matt Psycho. Racer Brown in third on 29 points. Homesick Alien's probably got a bit of a sweat on about Racer Brown being just behind him. Skyjacker in fourth on 26 points, tight. Cthulhu fifth on 22 points. I think Cthulhu, unfortunately, could have got a second last round out, and Polybaloney dicked him. Sixth place is Bazza on 18 points. He's equaling with Normans on 18 points, who also is equaling with Jokers on 18 points, who's also equaling Ensign Hewitt on 18 points. That's 4 of them. 4 of them. We're not going to watch anyone else in this race. We are going to be watching Bazza, Normans, Jokers and Ensign Ewart. Pat's on 13 points in, it says 10th place, but really, well, he's probably in 7th, with all of them drawing 6th place. And then we have Mrs. Guesty in 11th. On 11 points, she's done it. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it when they align. It's beautiful. It says 11th, Mrs. Guesty, 11. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Jokers at the moment we see is the fastest man on track. And what chat have I missed? Let me have a quick look. Okay then. So, Guesty saying evening thingy. Well, hello, Guesty. Did your foot get twitchy while you're not racing? Skyjacker saying very good Spanish. And Skyjacker also saying weather forecast is in the brief. Oh, look, he's trying to force me to read his brief. No one reads your brief. No one wants your briefs, Skyjacker. Oh my God, where is it then? So, here's the brief. This is what the drivers get. Here's a little look into the world. I'll quickly say, Mama Sykes saying, evening everyone, hiya thingy. Let's go racing. Good luck. Yes, hiya, Mama Psycho. It's great to hear from you. And sorry, I was just trying to read these briefs. Skyjacker wants us all to have a look at his briefs. So we'll read the label in my briefs. That's the one. So FF Cup driver briefing. They all get around on these little, really uncomfortable plastic chairs, and this is what they have to sit through. Too many Y's in that chat. I'm not going to comment. But look, Normans. I will be working on Normans later. So FF Cup drivers briefing round 3 Monza. Good morning, Cup. Welcome to round 3. Today we head to the Temple of Speed. We all know the perils of turn 1. Please be sensible and allow some extra room to slow down to minimise the chances of contact. Homesick? Are you listening there at the back of the classroom? Okay. Remember that your tyres will be cold at the start of the race, and be careful for the first 2 chicanes. Matt, Psycho, will you stop playing with Jokers and listen to me? You must start qualifying on your chosen race start tyre. You must pit for fresh tyres during qualifying. No rain is predicted. There you go. Barry, are you listening even? Is there something you want to share with the classroom? Okay. Some general points to remember. If you cause a coming together, if you think you have, please redress. Please ensure you are fully familiarised with the general rules and regulations. VRC's main and Golden will always leave racing a room. Red flags may be called if an incident involving 3 or more cars on the opening lap. Drivers involved should type RF in similar in the game chat. Restarting a race is at the host's discretion. Pat, can you please wake up? Any incidents you wish to be looked at by the stewards must be submitted by 9 o'clock GMT tomorrow via form request. Now, can you please keep an eye on Ensign Ewart? He looks like he has actually drifted off to sleep. Right, class. 15 minutes of qualifying. Here we go. Jokers is out there in the pack. Ensign Ewart is right at the back. Come on, sort yourselves out. It's Skyjacker. No, is it? Yeah, it is Skyjacker in the Audi TT that is leading them away. Oh yeah, they're all using FF cars, which means their engine's in the front and they drive at the front. The wheels turn at the front, the back wheels just get dragged along. So it's a bunch of cars dragging their asses. That's why it's full frontal cup. But I had that okay by the censors. YouTube frowned heavily on gratuity. So Matt Psycho now wants to be the leader of the pack. He's in the pug. He's in the little Peugeot Abomination. No, RCZ something or other. I just don't like the back end of it. I don't like that long sloping back end. It's just, I feel like as a passenger I'd bang my head a lot in the back of that car. You know what I mean, darling? Hey, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. Skyjacker. The Audi looks like it's got plenty of room for banging. We'll review these cars today on how much elbow room there is if you get lucky. And I'm reckoning the Matt Psycho's car is definitely, you're going to have to do it on the front seat, and that is uncomfortable. And then I think I reckon the Audi, you can lay down in that bad boy. You can pull positions off. Homesick aliens in the Megane. It's a bit tight. You'll be limited, but I think you could get by. You could get on with it. Jokers, did I say that YouTube frown on gratuitous? Yeah, that's a Peugeot. He's going to have the same problems Matt Psycho's got. Mrs. Guest, I'm too respectful to even. We've gone over the Audi. What? Mayhem. You're going to be called Mayhem due to Goo. I am going to have fun. Mayhem Goo. Mayhem Goo. He's American. Why is he called Mayhem Goo? Mayhem. We'll go with May. May he or may he not? May she? May he, she not? I don't know. There are no genders in racing. There is just polygons. So, Mayhem is out there with Norman's a couple of new ones. Look at this. New guys, new fresh blood. Fresh blood in the pack. That's what we like to see. Pat's in the Swift. I've given up on the cars, I know. The Rocco's got good space, and it's got a flat back end there. Yeah, I reckon you get some manoeuvres going on in there. What's that? That's the Megane. We already covered the Megane. The Swift, you've got no chance. You're doing it outside. You're going to have to get used to the fresh air because you're not doing it in there. And the Baz is in the Rocco, which we covered already. And Ensign, again, she's keeping her hands on warm on the bonnet. Let's face it, because you're not doing it in that car. Right then, very tasteful start to this. And Matt Psycho gets himself pole position. He might not be able to ding-dong in that car, but he can definitely go fast. Jokers, though, steals it away in the same machinery. But we've got a long way to go. We haven't even looked at the tyres, have we? Because I've been too busy being smutty and ridiculous. Homesick Alien saying good evening. And Mama Homesick saying evening thingy. All okay with you? I'm good, thank you. I am good. We've got time setting. We're going to go through the field. So, Jokers, there is your pole sitter. And he's on the racing soft tyres. Matt Psycho also opting to start the race on a set of racing soft tyres, going faster again, but he's got an Audi of Skyjacker stealing a toe, who's third fastest so far, and he also has begun qualifying on the racing soft tyres. Bazza's on the racing soft. Bazza is in the Sirocco. It looks great. So Baz getting purples as well. The Rocco's rocking up with some real power. Yeah, you've got to stay off that sandy stuff. Doesn't help. Pat is fifth fastest now, and he's on the medium tyres. So has there been many mistakes behind? But Pat on the medium tyres has pulled a clanger out the bag. It is 3 seconds adrift of Sir Bazza, of Bazalot, but still. He's faster than Mrs. Guesty, Mayhem and Ensign in his Swift, and he's on the medium. So a strategy from the off for Guesty. Hard for Mrs. Guesty, and, you know, unrespectful. Racing hard tyres on Mrs. Guesty. Mayhem also has got hards on. Ensign, he's gone softs, but he just can't get that Swift to do what it wants him to do. Skyjacker goes fastest of all. King of the Castle in the Audi TT, reigning supreme. Looking dead sexy with it. Dead sexy with it. Jokers, second fastest, doesn't go faster on his next lap. Matty Psycho goes in. What, for a fresh set of softs? He's been in business. He's lost the rigidity of those tyres. Maybe he's flat spotted them. Bazza, fourth fastest, lovely to see. Pat has just been done by Norman's on those racing soft tyres, and he's just been done by Big Dan. Ensign sorry, it's going to get confusing, the names, the nicknames. It might have to be that I'll have to go full-fledged nicknames, because it's ridiculous that everything else is nicknames on the time screens. It's nicknames, and when you press the button to get their little thing up, not that button, sorry. For piss sake. That button. It's their nickname, Big Dan. So we might end up going full nicknames. That's opening it up to a whole ridiculous name thing. And who uses ridiculous names? I just can see it now. We're going to have a bunch of Toby Larones and Lizzie Anyas. or something loose arse or something like that, huge hard on. It's just going to be ridiculous. It's just juvenile and childish. So, Skyjacker's the fastest man on track. I was watching Dan Mono. Why am I pulling away from Ensign Ewart? I'm going to get in car with Ensign. All right, Ensign, we're on with you. Give us a lap. Give us a lap of Monza, man. Go on. Ooh, going down straight here. Up to 142 miles an hour. 3 onto the brakes. Down into third gear as we go through one of the chicanes. They've got big famous names and I don't know them. Okay. Not everyone knows every single car and every single track, corner in the calendar. Skyjacker and Joker's both in. That Psycho we saw going in before, so fuel, but I think they start on less fuel for qualifying, so they can get that qualifying run straight away. Loads of times are dropping at the moment. Pat's only 9/10 off of Ensign Ewart, the same machinery. Homesick Alien has gone 5th fastest. So Big Dan didn't want to take us round. Monza. And Skyjacker getting past a few cars that have just done pit stops. Obviously, he's done a pit stop as well. Joker's just pitting as an all. Ah, Bazza, he backed off to let Skyjacker through. Oh, he's coming round, I think. He's coming around to the pit lane. Matt Psycho just starting a lap. Well, he's on a lap, really. He could do without the traffic ahead, and traffic has truncated quite nastily around the same area, isn't it? They've not spread themselves out very well. Well, they did, but I think just circumstance and pit stop has put them all together. Look, someone's parked in the chicane to try and get out of the way. Jesus, bedlam out there. That Psycho, he's not going to do it this lap. He's had way too much traffic, surely. But we will keep an eye. Matt Psycho, championship leader by a mile, 9 points after 2 rounds. It's ridiculous. It sounds daft to say it. It's very Mercedes, isn't it? It's very Merc-esque. So, Psycho, he is going faster. Got to find 7/10 on the bad boys ahead of him. That's Skyjacker, the mighty Audi TT. Joker's in second. Now, have some of the other guys that we saw... Sorry, I was watching Matty. He was faster. Let us stay with him. Let us stay with him, and we see a car pulling over there for Matt Psycho. It might be Baz on his way back to the pits still. But Matt Psycho then coming around the Parabolica. Is it fast? It needs only 200s to get ahead of Baz. Baz goes into the pits. Homesick goes fast, and there is Matt Psycho. Not enough to topple Skyjacker, but enough to get him up into second place. And Homesick also went faster on that lap and pulled himself up into 4th as the Baz goes into the pits. Knocked down a couple of places there. Joker's still prominent in the Peugeot. Skyjacker dominating his fellow competitors in the Audi enjoying the long stretches of what's going on? Sorry, I'm trying to play with my phone, not like that, but it's gone a weird view, and I like it the other view. But the battery power thing had come up, so it wouldn't turn, and it was man versus machine. There was a battle between man and machine. So yeah, I was going to go down and see how tyres were going on, weren't we? So Baz has been in softs. Ensign Ewart, he was on softs anyway. Mrs. Guesty's gone for a set of softs, gone fast now, 158.8, 2.4 seconds off of pole. It's going to be good. And Pat is on to the softs. He was on mediums, was he not? And Norman's is on the softs now. And Mayhem also... Oh no, Mayhem has stayed with the hard tyre. Interesting. Maybe hasn't quite grasped the rule. What's his nickname then? If Mayhem Jutugu is his... Mayumi. We'll go with Mayumi then. Yeah, nicknames might be the future. Nicknames could be the future here, I'm afraid. So, yeah, They've gone for another set of hard tyres. They're 4/10 off, so who's worth watching? Mrs. Guesty, a lady on the move. Matt Psycho retakes pole. Skyjacker in second in the mighty Audi. Joker's still holding that third, so the pug has got pace here. And Mrs. Guesty heading towards the line. It's not going to be, it's darn close, but not as fast as the other lap. Matt Psycho then just grabbing pole position by 4/10 from Skyjacker. Has Skyjacker anything left? And there we see Norman's going faster up into 8th place. And Ensign Newer also going faster, 6th, ahead of Mrs. Guesty. Mrs. Guesty on a run at the moment. Skyjacker out there, poised. Have we seen a sector? If we have, I didn't see it. I'm sorry. We've got 2 more minutes of qualifying. 2 more minutes for these guys to sort their times out. Doesn't look like this is a run. It looks like he's warming his tyres up at the moment. It's early in the lap. He must have made a mistake early doors. Yeah, nearly a second off his own time. What about Joker's? How's Joker's getting on? Joker's low on fuel. He's going to be going for a Dare near the end. Might run out of fuel on that last flying lap.
How the devil are you on this fine evening, X?
And in the chat we've got Guesty saying, "Come on, Mrs. Guesty." And Coy saying, "Good evening, good sir. How the devil are you on this fine evening?" I'm super. Thanks for asking. I'm super. Thanks for asking. So Jokers, it's coming around to the Parabolica. I couldn't tell you if it's a good time or not. He might just come into the pits, but no, you've only got a minute left. You've only got the 1 lap left. You may as well just go all in. Go all in, Jokers. Put all those chips in. Coming up towards the line. Is there anything? 7/10 off of his best. Matt Psycho's parked it. He's doing no more. Mrs. Guesty coming up towards the line. Oh no, she's just gone across the line, but she gets another lap. Norman's coming up towards the line. Can he go faster? Jokers has parked it as well in 3rd. Norman's goes up to 6th ahead of Mrs. Guesty and Ensign Newer, I'm guessing. Loads more cars crossing the line, but they've not changed times. Skyjacker then, how's he doing? The final lap thing is out. Skyjacker, this is the one that Matt Psycho wants to see. Half a second off of pole. Can he find it? Is it there? Mayhem goes faster. Naomi. But on hard tyres, I'm gathering they're 10th. So here comes Skyjacker up to cut the line. 4/10. Can he find a little bit more? He just needs a couple more tenths. The rest of this lap, he's pushing the bees off of that car. He's absolutely driving the wheel nuts off of the inglets. Matt Sykes saying hello, evening. And Pat saying messed up the last lap via grave at the Lesmos. There you go. So with Skyjacker though, 4/10 up on his own time. He's 5 and a bit tenths down on Matt Psycho. He's coming towards the line. He doesn't. He goes faster, but not fast enough, unfortunately. Homesick Alien. There's a few of them crossing the line at the moment, but no times are changing. And Homesick crossing the line, goes up to 3rd ahead of Jokers, breaks Jokers' heart. So Homesick Alien starting on the 2nd row with Jokers. Bazza, he's still on a run, is Baz. Full of surprises is the Belgium. And we watch intently as the Bazza goes very wide in the Parabolica. Gives himself a great run though, up the straight, hopefully not losing too much time. Where does that plant him? He does not go any faster. Bazza 5th, Norman 6th. Ensign Newer is done, he's in 7th. Mrs. Guesty, she's done and she's in 8th. Pat 9th. And Mayumi is in 10th, but Mayumi, it doesn't look like, took those hard tyres off. So it's a Matt Psycho. Grabs another pole. Unbelievable stuff. He's had at least 1 pole. He had pole last round. Right, let me have a quick look. We don't get long. So, Matt Psycho in the Peugeot, 155.839 on pole. Skyjacker second in the TT Cup. Then we have Homesick Alien in the Megane. It's very tight, half a second, 4 tenths, and then 8 tenths. Jokus is also in the Peugeot, 9 tenths behind. Bazza is in the Rocco. We've got a couple of Roccos with Normans alongside him in 6th. Ensign Newer in 7th in the Swift. Guesty in the Audi. Mrs. Guesty, that is. Pat in the Swift, and then Mayumi in 10th. Megane just getting themselves into the swing of it. Don't forget, first race with us guys can be pretty daunting, but it doesn't take long for these guys to find the pace of the rest of the field, and they were on hard tyres, so some surprises may still come our way. Right, here we go then. 60 minutes of a Monza, no rain. I repeat, no rain, just a bit cloudy. It's going to be cold. Those tyres are going to be extra cold when they get to turn 1. So beware, boys. Can I have a bit of a brew? Oh, yeah, champion. Oh, no, a jump start from Mrs. Guesty and whoever's behind her. I think maybe Pat. Both of them got excited. Matt Psycho off to a cracking lead, though, with Skyjacker set in chase. It's going to be cold, remember, when they get to the braking zone. And oh my word, the TT lunges forward to Matt Psycho. It could be tears between the two of them, and they give racing space. And oh no, Homesick Alien out wide. There's Jokers and Bazza come through in the Rocco and the Pug. Homesick Alien down to 5th. Norman's in 6th with Pat now in 7th. Ensign Newer in 8th. Mrs. Guesty in 9th, and Mayumi is in 10th, and we'll check the tyres out next time around because there's more battling up at front. And my word, the Peugeot was nearly doing an endo there, and Skyjacker is through. The Audi under brakes. It looks like the Peugeot struggling under brakes there in the chicanes has given the opportunity to the Audi TT to come through. Now Skyjacker is on the only set of racing softs he's allowed to use in this race, and so is Matt Psycho, and they are doing battle. Then we have another Peugeot in 3rd, also on racing softs. Then we have Bazza in 4th in the Rocco on racing softs. Homesick Alien in the Megane on racing hards. That's unbelievable. Look how amazing he's doing against these guys. The cold track, you see, the grip makes a blind bit of difference, but those racing softs will warm up a lot sooner than Homesick Alien's hard tyres. Then Norman's is also, he's on the mediums, this lad. Then in 7th, we've got Ensign Newer on the softs. Ensign Newer looking to do damage early on in this race. Then we have Pat in 8th. He started on the medium tyres with Mayumi getting past Mrs. Guesty. He's up to 9th on the racing hards. And Mrs. Guesty also on those racing hards, playing the long game today. This is exciting. So Skyjacker attempting to break Matt Psycho's dominance in this championship so far, and can he do it? Joker's then in 3rd in the same machinery as Matt Psycho. Bazza 4th in the Rocco, and Bazza's looking very, very much like he has intent to do some damage up here. They all make it through the first chicane the second time round easily and beautifully, and Bazza holding on to the back of that Peugeot. He's got Homesick Alien breathing down his neck. Oh, not so much, maybe. Oh, sorry. I was trying to look behind. Oh, no point. So, sat on board with the Baz in 4th place, looking for a podium in this championship. And, oh, Matt Psycho nearly got taken out by Jokers. Jokers had to do some averting driving, and that has given Bazza the opportunity to move up and into 3rd place. Cracking stuff there. The Peugeot is looking woeful under braking. It really doesn't look like it likes braking from top speeds. Homesick Alien right there, and he's on the hard tyres. That is extremely well done, with Norman's chasing down on the medium. So far though, the battle up at the front is Skyjacker versus Matt Psycho, and here they go. He's got a lovely toe coming down. He's going out of the toe. It's the braking though that Peugeots can't handle, and he can't get that late brake on the go against the Audi. But then remember tyre wear, that fair maiden that calls herself tyre wear. And if Skyjacker is braking very heavily into the corners, and getting more out of his front tyres. Means he's getting more use out of his front tyres, more wear and earlier pit stops. So beware the braking gestures. So Matt Psycho then in second, Bazza there. Bazza's hot to go, isn't he? He's hot to trot. The Belgium bashing out a purple, and on Matt Psycho's case, Matt Psycho, what can he do? He can all but defend. He wants to attack Skyjacker, but he's got to have a consider of the Baz, who is now right in the canal. Oh no, he's made a hob of that. He's made a right absolute pig's ear of the first chicane, unfortunately, and that's put him back some. So Bazza down into fifth. All that hard work he gets to do again, and he's had a little damage. I think someone must have given him a bop. Someone must have given him a bop. No one's got front damage though. Jokers hasn't. So Joker's back up into third, and Homesick Alien gains a position on those hard tyres. Something, I imagine, he did not expect. Bazza's off the track, and he's having a big ding-dong with Normans. And oh my word, my dearie, my words. Normans carries on in sixth, and we'll have a quick look. Oh, and Bazza's left. He's not happy. Oh my lord. So let's have a look. Seems okay at the moment. No, Bazza just a little bit wide. No, I don't think there was much in that. I think that went up against the stewards. It'd be a racing incident, that. And I don't know why the Baz has decided to opt out of this one. I know he wouldn't be happy, but he had the pace, and we're only 5 minutes into the race. I think if that is a rage quit, then that was a little too soon, because he had the pace and it wasn't all terrible. Skyjacker, meanwhile, now he may have been nudged into that corner. I don't know. With the angle we saw, it didn't look like there was anything in it, but now thinking of it, if Norman's nudged him in the braking zone, that would have sent him out wide, and I imagine he wouldn't be happy about that. But hey, let's not speculate on that stuff. Let's focus on the positive now. So Skyjacker then leads this race, and Matt Psycho is giving it some. You're right, Baz. If you want to talk about it, send us a message. I'm happy to speak. Matt Psycho then in the braking zone, and he goes for position, and he's got position. And I was saying the Peugeot was woeful under braking, and my oh my am I eating my words, because Matt Psycho made that look rather easy. And Skyjacker now, he says chase, but maybe that's part of the Skyjacker plan. He likes to save fuel, and he likes to follow in the tracks. So maybe he just thinks he's got the pace of Matt Psycho, and maybe he's going to play with his food for a little while. There is Jokers trying to cling on to the back of those two, and at the moment easy pickings with Homesick Alien unable to go on the attack, as he is using his mandatory set of racing hards. He don't have to use them after this stint at whatever time he decides to pit. I imagine he's burning through that fuel. Now here's Ensign Newer, who didn't seem to figure very well in qualifying, seemed to lose places in the race. He's up into fifth place with the Baz and the Normans incident. That's put Ensign Newer right there in the Swift, the car we've been mocking all season for having absolutely no straight line speed. And look at the little bugger. Look at the little bugger go at Monza, which is all about the speed. So Ensign Newer chasing down Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien on those hard tyres, times 59.7 for oh no, that's Jokers, sorry, 59.2, sorry, for Homesick last time around. Ensign a 59.3. Race on. Normans had a little moment with the Baz. He's in sixth though on medium tyres. He was chasing Homesick Alien, so he has lost position through his coming together. And Pat in seventh in the Swift. Mayumi is in eighth on those racing hard tyres, but he cannot shake off Mrs. Guesty. Mrs. Guesty keeping nice consistent times against Mayumi. And Mayumi doing his fastest of the lap, a 2:02, and Mrs. Guesty a 2:07. Pat holding on to a 1.5 lost time on the guys behind him. Then Normans a 1:58.6 on those medium tyres, remember, and Ensign Newart's 59.1 chasing down Homesick Alien at 59.5. So Ensign Newart slowly is catching the alien. Jokus going faster than he's gone before last time out, trying to catch them leaders. Matt Psycho now stretching his legs. He's got the fastest lap. Took a while for the Peugeot to come in, the tyres to warm up, but now he's got them tyres at his optimum temperature. He's flying away with it, and Skyjacker, we surmised, had the pace and was just going to sit behind Matt Psycho, but now I'm wondering, maybe he doesn't have the pace. Tyre wear is virtually the same between them, and Matt Psycho has burned a minute less fuel than Skyjacker. Skyjacker chugging through that fuel as Matt Psycho reeling off the purple sectors in each one, and oh no, Skyjacker out wide. Jokus is, if he gets on it, if Jokus has his day, it could be a Peugeot 1-2 here at the Temple of Speed, with Homesick Alien in the McGann being caught by Ensign Ewart on board with Mr. Fancy Pants himself, Ensign Ewart. I'm slurping me coffee. That's a show of appreciation. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on our YouTube videos, because YouTube gets really wet about it. They get really excited. And that's Ensign Ewart going half a second faster than he's gone before. And now he's down to 4/10 on the alien. He'll be getting a tow in the Swift. Yes. He's on the racing softs, remember. Homesick Alien on the racing hard tyre. Homesick Alien doing an extremely good job keeping up with the lead. Well, not keeping up with the leaders. He's some 10 seconds behind Matt Psycho and Skyjacker, but they've yet to use the hard tyre, which he's done, and he's kept a great pace throughout the race. Them clouds soon dissipated, didn't they? And now we've got a lovely, glorious Italian afternoon on the go. Buenas noches. So Matt Psycho then, 1.5 seconds, slowly but steadily pulling a gap out on Skyjacker, trying to free up a bit of strategy for himself. He's on half a tank of fuel, and what we got 10 minutes gone, 11 minutes gone, so that would put the pit stop at about 22 minutes. Not quite making it at the halfway, so it's not a one-stopper, it's definitely a two-stopper. Skyjacker. Jokus 4.3 seconds behind those guys. Lost a lot of time in that last lap, 59.2, which is the same times as Homesick and Ensign Ewart. Ensign Ewart doing 58.4s, and they're being caught by Normans. So the racing mediums starting to come in. Racing mediums have woke up, and they are on fire. Then we have Mayhem. Look at him. Hard tyres. He's got himself ahead of Pat. Mrs. Guesty, we've lost someone else, have we? Down there, no? Just the Baz was the 10 of us. So, Pat, 9.2 seconds ahead of Mrs. Guesty. She had a poor lap that last one, a 2:08. A mistake must have been had. And now Guesty catching up with Mayhem. Where Mayhem must have only just taken Pat. Pat's doing a 59.6. He's on it again. On the racing medium tyres. It looks like the racing medium tyres on lap 7 are starting to be the choice tyre. Matt Psycho still, has lost a bit of time to Skyjacker. Skyjacker deciding to show what he's got in the Audi. It's a little game of cat and mouse at the front there. You decide which one's the cat, and you decide which one's the mouse. Jokus in third, 5.3 seconds. He's losing ground to the guys ahead of him, but not being caught by the alien, and the alien has bought himself a bit of time against Ensign there. Ensign 59.0 last time out, so Homesick Alien, a little breathing space. It was down to about 4/10. So Ensign Ewart slinging it out the scenery. He's getting overly excited. Normans, remember, had good pace behind him, so if Ensign Ewart gets a little too frisky, then Normans is going to be all up and in his business, all up in his grill, bruh. And here we go, Pat and Miami having a race. They set off for a race, and that's what we're getting. And that's Pat getting a tow on his medium tyres. Miami sitting in place, waiting. Come on, cameraman. Pat's got a bit of a shake on in the corner, but he makes it. Beautiful. And Mayumi on those hard tyres, but Pat's off wide now, and so's Mayumi. And my words, there's a bit of racing going on here. Mayumi then does get past Pat. Pat off the road a little bit. And that's all playing into Mrs. Guesty's hands with the rough lap that she had. Oh dear, what's going on? Oh, it's the camera being funny. And Pat all the way around the outside of the Parabolica. And he's chasing down Mayumi, who I believe is a returning old friend from yonks ago, Shectifire. So I think it's Shectifire. I'll have to get that. Mrs. Guesty's had enough of those hard tyres. She's come in, she wants something faster. Oh my word, Matt Psycho and Skyjacker are nose to tail. And this is exciting stuff. Skyjacker again with another fastest lap. He's reeling him off. And is Matt Psycho trying to do a bit of car management, trying to look after his fuel. He's got a fair whack more than Skyjacker at this point. Jokus has used more than both of them in the RCZ. Chase them down 7 seconds adrift. But if they take each other out, if these nutters get a little too ambitious, then yeah, Jokus could find a win in the FF Cup. Oof. Psycho having a little wiggle or a little lag, one or the other. You can't tell nowadays, can you, with these lobbies? Good work, Polybaloney. That's what we like to see. Skyjacker in second, Jokus in third. Then we've got a Homesick Alien pulling steadily away from Ensign Newitt. Ensign Newitt coming into some woes at this point in the race. His soft tyres not working how he wants them to do, and the medium tyres are in a plush zone. And Norman's starting to bring the noise. Hopefully we can come back for that race. Here we got a race just ongoing with Mayumi and Pat battling it out. And Pat may have been around. He's one of the oldest guys apart from the admins we have in the group. And Pat may have raced Shectifire. In fact, I'm almost certain that Pat raced with Shectifire. And Pat's coming into the pits. Pat has decided this is the moment. Well, it is, because he's out of fuel. And Mayumi then moves on, and he's got a little fuel left. And Mrs. Guesty made that earlier stop, gone to racing medium tyres, and virtually a whole tank of fuel. And she'll be hoping to get, she was 9 seconds behind Pat, she'll be hoping to get somewhat slightly closer. And it's all about what Pat chooses to go on to next, with Mrs. Guesty using the hard tyre. Now Matt Psycho stretched his legs up against Skyjacker. Skyjacker's still getting 56s, so he must have made a mistake on this lap, or he's backed off somewhat. Joker's 7.2 seconds behind. That takes the pressure off. Joker's fuel tank just started flashing. Matt Psycho's still showing a quarter of a tank of fuel. Skyjacker just under a quarter, so it's leveled out a little bit. Homesick Alien, he's done a cracking job. I'm really this one is not one to count out, I reckon, is young Homesick Alien. Young Obi. He's done his run on hard tyres. He's held 4th place all the way. The guys all ahead of him are going to have to... Oh, what is it with now suddenly the back ends kick up under braking? That is ridiculous. I want total immersion. I can't even say their proper names properly anymore. Polyphonic Digital. I want immersion. I don't want to see back ends in the air when they brake. That's stupid. That's what BMXers do. Skyjacker in second place. Did a 58 that last time out, Matt Psycho. So we're getting a flurry of pit stops. Jokers has gone in. So's Norman's. Homesick stayed out, with Ensign Newitt staying out as well. Now Pat came out only 3 seconds ahead of Mrs. Guesty. So this is perfect for Mrs. Guesty. This is what she wants. Pat's gone to the medium tyre again. He's gone for a second run in the mediums. Mayum has come in he had the hard tyres on. Norman's had the mediums, they've gone soft. Jokes has gone out on the medium tyre. Ensign Newer is on the softs. His fuel's running out. Homescaling also fuel issues on the hard tyre. He'll be glad to see the back of the hard tyre, and now he can put on everything that's fast. Then we have Skyjacker again reeling off another fastest lap and giving Matt Psycho a bit of pressure. These guys, the fastest guys out there, and they've made their fuel last better than most out. Skyjacker's fuel just started flashing. Matt Psycho's yet to, but they don't it doesn't look like he's got that much more. And there we see Homesick Alien will be pitting at the end of this lap, as will be Ensign Ewart. Who's next in line then? Norman's 14 seconds behind Jokus. Jokus has already pitted, sorry. So Jokus 23 seconds behind Ensign Ewart and Homesick. Now that little thing that we had said that it was 21 seconds, didn't it, for a pit stop? So that's interesting. It's going to be tight. Skyjacker's pitted. Matt Psycho has not. Matt Psycho wants another lap on those soft tyres. Skyjacker opting for a different compound. I'm guessing mediums. It seems like the safe bet. Everyone's going to mediums at the moment. They were working well for Normans. So Jokus is out there. He wants to reclaim that third spot. But it depends on how quick Homesick Aliens and Ensign Newart's pit stops are. They're both still stationary as Homesick goes on. Jokus goes on to the straight. And he gets his third spot back. Now what has Norman's done? He put the soft tyre on. Try and get track position from these guys. Homesick Aliens out on the mediums. Ensign Ewart also out on the mediums. Norman's not quite, but he's closer. Mayumi is out there on the racing hard. He's gone for another set of hards. Or has he just left the same hards on? I think he's left the same hard tyre on. Actually, he's just not changed his tyres. But it's not gained. It's not really a big gain on Pat. He was racing Pat, and unsure of Mayumi's. Or did he just get a knock by Pat? Was he virtually a dead stop? Pat's got no damage at the front though, so I'm not sure. And Mrs. Guesty right there in the centre of things. Medium tyres against Pat's medium tyres. And Mayumi on an old set of hards, not quite sure what the strategy is there. Normans is on the racing soft tyres. Matt Psycho has gone in now. 35-second lead on Skyjacker. It says 21-second pit stop. But obviously they're putting more fuel in, so I think the pit stop will be longer. And maybe it's 21 seconds, not counting stoppage time. Homesick Alien, 10 seconds behind Jokus, but now he's on a set of medium tyres. And he'll be on a charge, but so is Jokus. Ensign Ewart also on a set of mediums, and he's on a charge against the Alien. Norman's in there with softs. Remember, Norman's could be the big surprise in this stint as Matt Psycho changes to the medium tyres and comes back out on track. Some 4.3 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. It's not going to be that much. About a second and a half after all's washed out. Remember, cold tyres as well for Matt Psycho. Ooh, Skyjacker's struggling with grip in the chicane, and Matt Psycho's got to get those tyres up to temp. We can't really see them, but apparently they've got a little blue bar around them when they're cold. Jokus then in third. 10. He doesn't look like he's going very fast there, but he is, I suppose. 10 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien, but we've got a little battle brewing here between 4th, 5th and 6th, and it's going to be a very interesting. Ensign Ewart chasing down Homesick, but Homesick looks like he's pulling away at the moment. But Normans is on the racing soft tyre and is capable of catching both the guys ahead of him and before the pit stops happen. But remember, Ensign's used his soft tyres, but Homesick Alien hasn't. And I thought Normans was there. He's missed the corner though. He got a little overexcited. Thought he saw an opportunity. Maybe outbraked himself. And again, he's coming up towards Ensign Ewart. Ensign Ewart on the medium tyres won't have much in the bag to protect himself against Norman's, the flying fin. Oh, thirsty. I needed a drink. How late are we into the race? We're 24 minutes into the race. Not quite halfway yet. We've had one lot of pit stops. We think it's going to be a 2-stop race. The variety of tyres used at the moment. Norman's, who used, I can't remember what he used. Mediums. He was on the mediums in his first stint. Has gone to the softs. Now Ensign Newitt was on the softs in his first stint. He's gone to the mediums. So Norman's picks up a position there. And now he's 3.9 seconds behind Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien has had immense pace, no matter what tyre he's got on. Joker's 12 seconds behind Skyjacker, who's now 3.2 seconds behind Matt Psycho. And Matt Psycho now starting to stretch out that lead. He had about 1.5 seconds on Skyjacker in the first stint. And now it's up to 3.2 seconds, but we know the Audi has got good pace. Getting the fastest lap on the soft tyre. Jokers, he's got a safe podium there if he doesn't make any mistakes. But Homesick Alien, 58.2 last time out for Homesick. Jokers a 2-minute. So yeah, I mean, it's jeopardy. It's 7 seconds, but Homesick Alien is absolutely flooring it on those medium tyres. Bazza in the chat saying quick race because what happened in the first chicane. Oh, I might have missed what happened in the first chicane. Did you get battered in the first chicane as well? Sorry, Baz. Sorry, Baz. I missed it. I've got to admit. So, Matt Psycho leads the way. 4.1 seconds. Don't do anything daft, Baz, like leave the Discord, because only Muppets do that. So Matt Psycho, 4 seconds now. He really is trouncing Skyjacker. And Skyjacker, maybe Skyjacker managing the car a little bit. Who knows? Who knows until it washes out at the end. Joker's holding ground between those guys, but he is 2 seconds a lap slower than Homesick Alien at the moment. What does he cross the line with this time? 59.0. Homesick Alien cuts the line with a 57.8. You see, Jokers could be in trouble here. Medium tyre versus medium tyre, but the Megane at the moment is pulling out some great impressive pace. Norman's in 5th. He's also got good pace. Pulling away from Ensign Newitt, which that Suzuki Swift does not like anything other than soft tyres. A little chug of my energy drink. Bad saying, no worries, won't start something. Who was you racing? Jokers. Oh, I might have seen you and Jokers going a bit sort of, I can't remember. I wouldn't like to say, Baz, because I can't quite remember what happened to the... But you had good pace, man. You were catching someone up, or you were catching Jokers up. Maybe he was racing Jokers. And then in the second chicane, he came across Norman's. Matt Psycho, Jokers does race hard, man. I tried going up against him in the SCC, and I ended up bouncing over a curb and fucking... fluffing it. That Psycho leading 4.8 seconds from Skyjacker. 11 seconds behind them is Jokas with Homesick Alien. A further 8.5. See, he got it down to 7. A 57. See, maybe he's... I thought that was lower. I thought he was pulling more in. I thought he was in the 7 seconds already, so unsure. We'll check the next lap times. And Norman's also pulling in the Alien. Oh, movement down here. Pat getting ahead of Mayum. Mayum on those hard tyres. Very strange choice. Staying with the hard tyres again, and they're only going to wear away, aren't they? I mean, saving half a second or a second in the pit stop it's not really paid dividends because Pat now has caught and passed him, and Mrs. Guesty also catching and soon to be getting past. Pat's very wide, lost the position, and Mrs. Guesty up the inside of the pair of them. Bish bash bosh, see you later, boys. Have fun. Pat getting on the toe of Mrs. Guesty to try and go against Mayumi, and this is going to be the battle of the balls. Mayumi's just ahead of Mrs. Guesty in the braking zone. Pat's there. He could ruin everyone's day. Oh my word. And Mayumi in first, then Mrs. Guesty is slow coming around that second part of the chicane. And Pat's all over the back of Mrs. Guesty. He's going for a move. Mrs. Guesty going defensive on the inside. And here we are from Pat's view. He's on the medium tyre. He'd like a little more grip, I imagine. A little more grip to be able to get around the outside of that damn fine looking Audi. Don't clip her. Oh, and there's Pat again having a look in the chicane. Very tight place to start trying to make overtaking manoeuvres there, Pat. You got all them lovely straights. Bazza says tomorrow some jumps and all forgotten. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So, Mrs. Guesty on fire now with the medium tyres. She was in a slumber on those hards, but give her a set of something with more grip and she'll show you what she's got. And Mayumi is just about to find out. Look at the Audi, absolutely powerhousing down towards the corner. And Mayumi is in trouble as they come towards the Parabolica now. A short straight and more toe for Mrs. Guesty. And it's going to be out of the Parabolica. She's going to leap it. Coming down into the braking zone, knocking it down to third gear pretty soon. Through the Parabolica. Oh my God, the back end of the Audi's slightly gone. And she keeps a hold of it though. Great driving from Mrs. Guesty. Pat's right there though. Pat fancies a piece. And Mrs. Guesty into the pits. Into the pits. Fuel's low. Interesting. Mass Psycho 4.4 seconds ahead of Skyjacker and the Audi. Obviously just not enjoying the medium tyres as much as the Peugeot. The Peugeot 57s across the board since having the mediums on, and the Audi just not as consistent. Jocus 59s and 58s since putting the mediums on, losing time to the Alien. Oh yeah, he got 59, that's why it stretched out again, and the Homesick Alien starting to hang the Megane out. As the fuel drops off, it's getting a little lighter, a little feistier in the corners, but Norman's isn't making an impact. He's down to 201 though, and he'll be getting caught again by Ensign Newer, who hasn't even scuffed his tyres up yet. Look at him, he's used half a tank of fuel and barely used the tyres. Mayumi still in that 7th spot. Unbelievable on those hard tyres, great pace. And Pat now, as Mrs. Guesty made that pit stop, and she's put the softs on. Watch out, gentlemen. She's gone all grippy. Matt Psycho then 4.2 seconds ahead of Skyjacker in the other Audi, and Jocus making a lovely Peugeot sandwich that Skyjacker is in the middle of. Homesick Alien, you can see him in the view of Jocus. Jocus could be in trouble here. 57.7 though, good time from Jocus last time out. 58.3 from Homesick. And Norman's 58.7, so he's a little slower than the Alien. Ensign Newer, a 2:06 on those mediums, the Swift, and not happy. And it looks like it's dulled down a bit. Looks like it's clouded up. And I imagine the track going a little cooler. They do get a bit of a tailwind down here though. Not quite, it's going at a bit of an angle. Pat into the pits as well, so Mayumi having an absolute cracking race. Has outstayed those two on the same tyres. So Mrs. Guesty and Pat very close on track. What is the action after the pit stops? Pat still topping up. Mrs. Guesty on the straight. Pat still topping up. Mrs. Guesty. They're side by side, but Pat's in the pit lane. And Mrs. Guesty, that is Done. Overtaken. Into the first corner. 30 seconds on Mayumi. But Mayumi yet to pit. Got just under a quarter of a tank of fuel though. They're saving that fuel very well. Pat opting to miss that corner altogether. On the softs as well. Wasn't expecting the lack of braking grip on those soft tyres. And that's going to lengthen out the time a little bit for Mrs. Guesty. Matt Psycho, meanwhile, 5 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. And is there anything Skyjacker can do? Is there anything he can do in this race to pull it back? They've both spent their medium tyres and they've both got to use the hard tyre. And Skyjacker has got to be hoping and praying that the Audi can make those hard tyres work. And Jokus doing a fine job there. Solid for a podium, but he has used his soft tyre up and he's got a certain alien heading his way who is yet to use the soft tyre. And we are coming up to the second wave of pit stops pretty soon, so they'll be using the tyres they have not used yet. Jokus, Skyjacker and Matt Psycho all not using the hard tyre. Homesick has, Normans hasn't, Ensign Newer hasn't. Mayumi, that's all he's used. He wants to do this whole race on one set of hard tyres. And it's not going to get him very far because he's going to pit. Mrs. Guesty's out there on the soft tyres and she's not far off his position. So Mrs. Guesty could be looking at Ensign Newer. I'm not even saying Ensign Newer's not impossible. When he puts the hard tyres on, that Swift might totally fall off the edge of a cliff. And Mrs. Guesty has used the hard tyre. And a memo for Skyjacker, the car did not look happy on the hard tyres. So maybe you want to do another run of mediums and just do 2 laps of hard tyres at the end. Just hope Matt Psycho has some issues and you can buy a pit stop. Matt Psycho then is going past him. Why would he even think about a pit stop? He's going to leave it right to the very end. He's not going to want to use those hards much at all. He's got quite a bit of fuel. He's saved it quite nicely and still pulled out a lead. It's unbelievable driving. It really is truly a dominating performance from Matt Psycho in this series so far. He is the king of the Cup. The King Cup. So Matt Psycho, king of the... So he is the King Cup. He's the king. Norman's into the pits. He's spent his softs. He's going to have to use a set of hard tyres now. And the sun looking like it's rearing its ugly head in some parts of the track. And I think that's going to be the chat in Discord at the end of this race, is track temperatures. Track temperatures being all over the place by the drivers in the debrief room. Mrs. Guesty then, this is where she can shine. Has she done enough at 59.6 whilst on the soft tyres? Mayumi hasn't used the soft tyre yet and may choose this to be the moment to change those hard tyres onto some softs. And then it'll be race on between the Megane and the Audi. And Mayumi topping up with fuel now. Had the tyres changed, if they've changed at all. Mrs. Guesty coming down the straight. Mayumi not moving yet. Mrs. Guesty is there and she is ahead. Mayumi's on the move, but it's too late. It's an exact same position overtake as she did on Pat, and that is her speciality. Sweet. So Mrs. Guesty then up into 7th place, 22 seconds off of Norman's, but Norman's is on the medium tyre. I don't think he's used the hard. Maybe he's going to try and come in and do the hard right at the very end. Ensign Newitt's on the mediums. He hasn't used the hards yet. Jokus hasn't used the hards. Homesick Aliens caught Jokus up. Oh my lord, Jokus did a 2 minute of 58. And Homesick Aliens been absolutely caning the lap times. And I do apologise. Oh my words. It's already happened. Ridiculous. Oh, and I thought Jokus, that was 7-second lead he had. I thought it was a done deal, man. A done deal, Jokus, that podium. Jokus is yet to use the hard tyre. Possibly going to put the hard tyre on unless he wants to make another stop. which I think Norman's is planning to do. So Mrs. Guesty could be quitting, but Mrs. Guesty's going to have to do another stop, I think, before the end. Yeah, I think Mrs. Guesty's going to have to make another stop before the end. Mayhem's gone for the medium tyre, not the soft. And Pat is now spending that hard tyre, and it's going to be difficult at the back to gain any positions. Jokers is out on the hard tyre. Ensign Ewart has moved ahead, but look, he's been re-put on the track. And that's not what he needs. He's gone medium tyre as well. When did he pit? He's not used the hards. He hasn't pitted yet, maybe? No, him and Homesick haven't pitted yet. Sorry. Skyjacker will be ready to make a pit stop soon, but Matt Psycho still good to go for a fair few laps yet. 4 or 5 laps at least. And Matt Psycho and the Audi is going to come in and... I mean, it's not really a choice. Norman's has gone for mediums. I can't remember seeing hard tyres on his car. I thought he was one of the ones that started on the softs. He went on to mediums, and this is his second medium run. So maybe he'll be in at the end to put hard tyres on, struggling in the chicane. But Skyjacker, I don't think it's going to be much of a choice. He's going to put the hard tyres on, or he's going to have to make another stop, which will put him in jeopardy of Homesick Alien, who has used the hards. He's going to pit now. He's 21 seconds behind Skyjacker. Maybe Skyjacker in the back of his head thinks he could still get second, and he doesn't have to go on the hards for just under 20 minutes. Matt Psycho continues on. Homesick's in the pits, and Ensign Ewart is not even close yet. But Joker's not far behind him on those hard tyres. Norman's sure he's not used the hard tyre. Mrs. Guesty has used the hard tyre, 24 seconds behind Norman's, but I do believe she's going to have to make another stop before the end. And you've got Mayumi only 5.3 seconds behind on a set of medium tyres, and then we've got Pat on a set of hards, some 13 seconds and struggling as Matt Psycho comes up to put a lap on 10th place, or 9th place now, sorry. We lost Bazza early doors. And the worst camera angle in the world. As Matt Psycho still yet to catch up. Pat. It doesn't seem to matter much. It's not costing him time, he says. And he's through. And Pat with a gentle lift, I'm sure, just to help him out. And ducks in for a tow. Good call, good call. Matt Psycho into the pits this time. Yes, Skyjacker did put hard tyres on. He's filled right up. He's going till the end. And Ensign Ewart now up into third without making a pit stop. And Homesick Alien out and on the softs. And this could be trouble. Matt Psycho into the pits. And I don't think Homesick Alien is looking at a win today. But he is definitely looking at a strong podium. Third for sure, maybe second. Joker's there on the hard tyre. He's not going to be able to go up against the Alien. But when Ensign Ewart makes his pit stop, Joker's definitely will get that position. Norman's in the shout, but I think he's got to come in and put hard tyres on. Mrs. Guesty, she's ticked all the boxes for tyres. She's used the hards. But I think with the earlier stops that they've been making, she's going to have to make a quick splash and dash before the end of the race. Mayumi set, ready to take that position, and possibly Pat as well, who's going to be going to the end. Maybe not, with half a tank, who knows. Matt Psycho's filled right up with 17 minutes to go. So maybe, yeah, Pat maybe will have to pit again before the end of the race. Someone else has pitted. Ensign Ewart finally comes in, makes that swift work, that fuel tank. So Matt Psycho is leading by 8 seconds on Skyjacker. They've both gone to the hard tyre, and really right now Skyjacker needs Matt Psycho to throw it off at the scenery for him to get anything out of this race. We've got 16 or 17 minutes to go, and it's race on. Homesick Alien, he's 18 seconds behind Skyjacker. He is on the faster tyre, but I think the time is already lost at this point in the race. We will see though. Stranger things have happened. Joker's going faster than he's gone before on a set of hard tyres. And maybe the pug likes hard tyres, which is not boding well for the Audi of Skyjacker, because that means Matt Psycho's top car will be liking the hard tyres. Norman's, I think he's got to come in again. And there goes Enson's out of the pits. He's on the hard tyre, just ahead of Mrs. Guesty. Oh, what a shame Mrs. Guesty's going to have to pit again, because, man alive, 6th place was on the cards. But she'll be putting medium tyres on. I think Pat's going to have to pit unless Pat really ekes out that fuel. What did Ensign put in? Ensign's put a full tank in as well. So anything less just won't do, I don't think. Shall we get on board with Mrs. Guesty? Shall we get alongside Mrs. Guesty? Have a look at her helmet. Oh, she's not put a nice overall on. Could have had a nice monster style overall. Chameleon picky. You can't see her helmet that well because the bloody... I think it's a Guesty helmet. Like Mr. Guesty helmet. But on board with alongside Mrs. Guesty. Fuel's low though. I think she'll be into the pits at the end of this lap. Catching up with Ensigneur though. What a buzz. What a buzz. He's on the hard tyres. He's not going to have the grip. Mrs. Guesty very steady there on the accelerator. Very smooth. And she'll be looking to come into the pits. No? Yes. And Mrs. Guesty into the pits. Will join Matt Psycho in the lead by 10 seconds. 14 minutes to go of this race. And Matt Psycho is absolutely owning it out there. And Skyjacker, he's going to be keeping an eye on one certain alien who's just done a 56.7. Skyjacker's fastest lap of the race was a 56.5. And I don't know what distance Homesick was before. But I think he's just pulled 3 seconds out of Skyjacker's time. If he can pull 3 seconds a lap out of Skyjacker's time, then Skyjacker is definitely going to be into trouble with the alien. Jokers, 8.7 seconds behind. Jokers must be absolutely flabbergasted that he's lost that podium. But Homesick Alien started on those hard tyres and sat in 4th all throughout that first stint on the hard tyres. That is impressive stuff. And now it's starting to pay dividends for Homesick Alien. Possibly he might be able to catch Skyjacker up. We will see. Normans, we think, may have to come in and do a splash and dash and put a set of hard tyres on, as we're not certain he's used a set, but he may have done. I might have missed it. Ensigneur's doing his hard run now, with Mayhem only 6 seconds behind him, doing 59s. And we haven't seen the true pace of Ensigneur because he's had his outlaps and such what. I mean, both of them seem bad. 212, 224. Mrs. Guesty, oh, she did get out ahead of Pat. Oh, I think Pat had to come in as well and top up. So Pat had to come in, top up, and Pat's gone for a set of softs. Has he not used a set of softs in the race yet then? Mrs. Guesty's gone to a set of mediums, and Pat obviously hasn't used a set of racing softs. Let me think. What was Pat's first stint on then? Mediums. Did he do 2 mediums hard and now he's gone soft? Hello, darling. So Pat on a set of softs, but he's 27 seconds behind Mrs. Guesty, who's 26 seconds behind Mayumi. And Mayumi's fuel might not make it. So Mayumi might have to back off and save fuel or make a short pit stop. Ensigneur, he's good till the end. Normans, we think, might have to make a splash and dash and put some hard tyres on. Jokers is never going to catch the alien. He's lost another 3 seconds from Skyjacker. A 56.6. He's getting closer and closer to that fastest lap. He's a 10th off of the fastest lap, and Skyjacker, all he can manage is a 2:01. And Matt Psycho's managing 58s out of the Peugeot on the hard tyre, and it's got to be said, it's dominance, isn't it? Very dominant in this season. And Skyjacker managing a 59.2 there. What will Homesick do? Oof, is it another 56? It is another 56.6. And now the time's down to 10 seconds. And we've got 11 minutes left. Jokus, he seems safe. Normans, I think, is going to have to pit, which gives Ensign Newitt a 5th spot in that Swift. I don't think those Swifts have finished that high. Mayumi, I don't know. He's going to have to fuel save if he's staying out. Mrs. Guesty has had a wild ride out there. She's had a cracking time. Although the mediums not agreeing. Oh, no, they're the outlap, sorry. Ooh, but the Audi looking very wriggly under the medium tyre. Matt Psycho, meanwhile. Mayumi, there's your answer. He does need to top up. He does need to top up, and he's going to put softs on. So Guesty, Mrs. Guesty, although she may get the position, she's going to be under fire come the end of the race. We've got 10 minutes left of racing here at Monza for round 3 of the Cup. And it is 3 in a row for Matt Psycho, the king. He is absolutely destroying it in this championship. Oh, and Mayumi looks like he's going to get out ahead, but just into the braking zone. But Mayumi's on them soft tyres, loads of grip, and but it's cold tyres, and Mrs. Guesty's all up in his business. But I think he might be able to get himself dusted off and get out of the way of the medium tyre. And oh, Mrs. Guesty so close, so close to the Megane. Ensign Newitt, meanwhile, happy days, is waiting for Normans to make that pit stop that he is inevitably going to have to make, because I believe he hasn't used the hard tyre. Matt Psycho, meanwhile, is pulverising it in the 58.5 lap time. Skyjacker has got it down to the 59s now, but Homesick Alien's still drawing him in. But the thing is, he'll probably catch him, but not have the tyres to take him. Jokus, meanwhile, I mean, I say he lost 3rd, but Homesick was always there on the hard tyres behind him. The right one's on the wall, but a great drive from Jokus in the Peugeot. Normans, I think he's going to pit. Mayumi, 1 second. Yeah, it was always going to happen on those soft tyres. And now Mrs. Guesty's got to hope that Mayumi just gets a little overexcited and late breaks somewhere into the corner. Mayumi's got no one to race ahead of him unless Normans makes that pit stop. But even then, Normans, I think, is only going to lose the position to Ensign Newitt, but he will be on the hard tyres, which will leave him wide open to a very fast Megane on soft tyres. Meanwhile, Matt Psycho leads by 12.7 seconds, and now Skyjacker isn't thinking about the win, probably hasn't for a while. What he's thinking about is his 2nd place, because this guy is catching him up at a rate of knots. I'm almost tempted to get in with Homesick Alien until we see the back end of that Audi. Give me 1 second. I've got to take this jumper off. I'm burning up here, man. Seems like this compulsion keeps stripping on the stream. I was like, I'm getting into it, guys, eh? We'll do a naked stream one day. It'll be fun. So Homesick Alien, we're on board. There he is. We just saw the back end of the Audi. This is intense. 7 minutes to go on the race. And Homesick Alien, absolutely. He's taken his fastest lap. Oh, how to destroy a man in stages. Take away his fastest lap and then take away his position. Unbelievable stuff. The Audi on the racing hard tyres has no answer to the Megane on softs. Matt Psycho getting out of Dodge, keeping in the 58s. Unbelievable pace from the Psycho. Jokus at the moment in the 59s. Even his pug is dealing with the hard tyres better than the Audi is. Then we got Norman's, not pitted yet. And Ensenua in 6. Mayumi steadily pulling away from Mrs. Guesty, who has definitely got that position wrapped up against Pat. And even though Pat's on them soft tyres, he's doing 58s. Mrs. Guesty's doing 59s, as Mayumi is doing 57s. Unbelievable pace there from Mayumi. Ensenua at the moment on those hard tyres, not getting out the 2-minuters. And Norman's in the 201s, saving fuel, but I don't think I don't know. I don't think he's used the hard tyre, but I may be wrong. Jokas on the hard tyre at the moment, seeing out the race as the sun goes down on the Temple of Speed here at Monza. And Homesick Alien, 3 seconds. He's taken the fastest lap again. Oh no, that was the fastest lap, sorry. And Skyjacker 1:59.3. And we've got 5 minutes left. And yeah, Skyjacker is just pretty much a sitting duck out there at the moment to the McGann. And Matt Psycho getting out of dodge, out of the way, and trying to secure his 3rd win. He didn't get, did he get pole? He didn't, did he? He did get pole. Yes, because Skyjacker didn't get it in the end. So another pole position and another win for Matt Psycho. Skyjacker just walks away with possibly a podium. But what position in that podium? Homesick Alien driving like a man possessed by aliens. Matt Psycho disappears into the sunset. Idaho Silver. Skyjacker, it's a different story. Jokas in 4th with Normans in 5th, and he must have used the hard tyre. He knows how to win a race. Ensenua in 6th with Mayumi in 7th. Purples again for the Alien, and Skyjacker's woes getting bigger and bigger in Skyjacker's view, in Homesick Alien's views. And Mrs. Guesty in 8th, Pat in 9th. We'll have a run through. We're just enjoying this soft tyre McGann absolutely tearing up the track, tearing up the fastest lap times, tearing up the book, and going for the attack. 2 places. He was in 4th for ages, was Homesick on those hard tyres. And slowly but surely again a 56.3. Unbelievable pace. If he started on the softs, could he have gone against Matt Psycho with that pace? Fuel is low, I guess. And he's there. He's in touching distance of Skyjacker now. Skyjacker, there's just nothing he can do on those hard tyres. And there we see Homesick Alien easily rolling up to the back. Joker's coming in. He hasn't fueled enough. Norman's, he might have to come in. We've got 3 minutes left on the timer. Mayumi seems fine. Ensenua, fine. Joker's is in. How far in does he have to go? Norman's is in. Homesick Alien's right on the case with Skyjacker. Joker's is back out in his 4th place. Norman's not quite at his box yet. Ensenua some 18 seconds behind. I think Norman's might be safe here. Will he put the hard tyre on and shut me up for good? And Skyjacker then has been in the races today with Matt Psycho and now with Homesick Alien, but Homesick Alien's making it short and sweet. He's pulling off that plaster quickly and painlessly, and there it is, done. We've got the braking zone, and Skyjacker still has the option to try and come up the inside of him, and no, thinks better of it, and that's a position for Homesick Alien. Fastest lap and 2nd place. Great day's racing for the Renault Megane, but it's not over yet. We've got 2 more minutes to go. Ensenua did get that 5th from Normans. Normans did put the hard tyre on. He's 13 seconds ahead of Mayumi, who's on the softs, who's made themselves 10 seconds ahead of Mrs. Guesty, whom is 19 seconds ahead of Pat. And it's Matt Psycho 14 something seconds ahead of Homesick Alien, whose fuel is now flashing, but he's okay to get home, I am sure. And Skyjack has gone into the pits. He's going for fastest lap, but he's not got enough time for it. You've timed it terribly. He's got enough time. He's not going to lose third. You can see what he's thinking, but he's used his soft tyre up. He's gone medium. That's not going to do anything for you. He just doesn't like them hard tyres, obviously. Thinks I'm not going to lose anything. But you're not going to get fastest lap anyway, because the time is going to run out at the end of your lap. Interesting. So, Matt Psycho, 14.5 seconds ahead of the Alien. And Skyjacker making that pit stop has made life easier for the Alien. If he pressured the Alien a little bit, he might have had to lean on his fuel, but now he can just take that one all the way to the bank. And Skyjacker going on to the medium tyres, possibly trying to get a fastest lap. I don't know. Maybe if he crosses, he's not going to cross the line in time, so I don't think he's going to get fastest lap. I think for many of these guys, this is their last lap. Jokus in fourth. Had to make a quick splash and dash near the end there. Ensign Newer, fifth. Cracking stuff, with Normans having to make a splash and dash as well. Put some hards on. Mayumi in seventh, did that double run on the hard tyre. And Mrs. Guesty in eighth, ahead of Pat in ninth. 6 seconds on the clock. Pat might be our first finisher. No, he's... Yeah, maybe. Mrs. Guesty's already gone through, I believe. Yeah, she's on her final. Oh, Matt Psycho takes the win. Whee, Matt Psycho. Super stuff from Matt Psycho there, as Pat also crosses the line to finish in ninth. Homesick Alien is over. He's over in second, sorry. And then there's someone else crossing the line. I think that's Normans. No, Mayumi. Oh, no, that is Homesick. So Skyjacker then coming around to finish in third. Take a boo, my son. Back on the podium for Skyjacker. Jokus brings it on home fourth. Could have been a podium, but that pesky Alien was on a good strategy. So Jokus, though, good points for Jokus there. What's his table looking like so far? It seems to be, I feel like he's doing well in this championship. He's down, oh, it's all them on 18 points, isn't it? So Jokus, I think he scored the best out of a lot of them and draws ahead of him. No Catula today. That's going to put Jokus right up the table. Ensign Newitt brings it home in fifth place.
Just couldn't match Matt at all after the first stop.
And that's Skyjacker in the chat. We'll have a look. Ensign Newitt comes up and he grabs himself fifth. I think is that the highest finish for the Swift? I'm not sure. Norman's been on an adventure for sixth, and Mayumi nearly caught him. But Normans gets sixth, Mayumi seventh, and Mrs. Guesty bringing it on home with fuel to spare. Guesty, she's got fuel to spare at the end for eighth place. Great drive by everyone involved, and a great round. But Matt Psycho absolutely owning it. I'll take you to the results. Oh no, we'll have a look at Matt Psycho. Look at him, you sexy MF. You sexy MS. And we'll look at the results as I quickly read the chats. Skyjacker saying, happy-ish with P3, just couldn't match Matt at all after the first stop. Matt Psycho saying, great racing with Sky. Mama Syke saying, Brill Matthew, well done guys, great thingy. And Matt Psycho saying, wasn't sure it was 31 laps. And yeah, Matt Psycho's dominance continues in this championship. 3 from 3 with 2 poles and 1 fastest lap. Matt Psycho really is the target in the Cup. He is the king. Homesick Alien in second. What a drive from the Alien. Kept it in there on the hard tyres at the very beginning. Held fourth for the longest of times. And then just at the end there, when he got the softs on, he was like a beast unleashed. And Skyjacker felt it. Skyjacker coming home in third. He was happy-ish with that. Couldn't keep Matt Psycho's pace in the pug as soon as they went off the soft tyres. Jokus, great drive for fourth. Beats that little battle that he's in with Bazza, Normans, Jokus, and Ensign Ewer. In fact, I think Jokus is going to go ahead.
If room closes, isn't my fault. Just had an error pop up.
Oh, if the room closes. No, that's all right, man. Oh, all right, then I'll quickly go through the results. Skyjacker in third, Jokus, Ensign Ewer in fifth, Norman's got sixth, Mayumi got seventh, Mrs. Guesty got eighth, Pat got ninth, Bazza got 10th. That's it then, I'll just leave that up there. You can close your room, man.
Really great pace on the soft tires. Clapping hands, clapping hands, clapping hands.
So in the chat then, Skyjack saying if room closes isn't my fault, just had an error pop up. Mama Homesick saying well done Homesick, really great pace on the soft tyres. Skyjack saying well done Matt and Homesick. Mama Homesick saying thanks Thingy, brilliant as always. Right then, before you all scoot off, don't forget tomorrow's stream, Friday, it's the big one, 2.5 hours around Spa in some meaty beefy cars, some men cars. Well, and girl cars, but manly girly cars, because they're pink, but they're manly. So join us for the 2.5 hour. We want your money as well. Well, I don't want your money. I want you to give it to Cancer Research UK. And if you have, go and feel up the sofas. See if there's any couple of pennies down there, a little shilling or two to throw in Cancer's direction. Join us tomorrow evening for the big one. It's going to be absolutely cracking. Oh, as your broadcaster and your commentator, Phil Myanus, thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club, and I'll see you Friday evening, tomorrow evening, for the big stream. VRC versus Cancer. We are kicking Cancer's butt with your help. And what else is there? Mama Homesick saying hard luck Skyjacker, and Matt Psycho saying bit of a contrast to see. Okie dokie guys, thank you very much for joining us. Like I said, I was Phil Myanus, and we were the Virtual Racers Club. Peace and love. Peace and love.